Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the pistol, they run with Gordon. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
They will run for the first time here with White. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On first down, it's Long. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 2nd and 12, Luck. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Here we go. It's the outlaw. You. 5:59 to go.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Check, check. Fresno, Fresno. Hey, lock it. Hey, high 7. Hit it.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really hurt them the other way, getting past that first wave.
Here's Carson. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
At the 15-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 18 Gators. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. 5.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
Hey, Delta.
Mike 35, Mike 35. On the ball.
He'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there, because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things, because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape. There goes Melvin Gordon. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Detroit. Melvin Gordon. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they're looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Hey. Hey, Alpha.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Come on. 58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike.
Speed grip.
2nd and 14. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Let's go now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Watch the run. Hey, they're running it.
Hey, Orbit.
Mike 35. Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I'd make a little joke and say, you know, some big guy, we're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
There on the tackle, Minka Fitzpatrick.
At the Browns' 33-yard line.
After one, a 14-3 ball game.
Lions 14, Browns 3.
5 to go. Line 40. Come to work. Monday. Watch out.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Luck. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Luck. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment.
Check.
Out of the gun, Luck. And able to connect with Berrios. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
To throw again on 2nd down. Luck. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for, and it'll bring up 3rd down. From the gun, here's Luck. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I've played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offensive coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Go. Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Mike 35.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They'll set up to throw. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Watch the end.
After the interception, it's Love. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
12.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Luck. He's going to find Gallup here complete.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Anthony Brown. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing the second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And now a big play to start off this drive as the shot downfield is complete. A big play that time for Cleveland. 57 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. They run it with Carson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Here we go, set, 50, plant. 50. Here we go, T. Here I come, here I come. Go. Hey, zoom.
Second and 13. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Open man has got it. It's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Lions have recovered. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. Breaks the tackle, got room to run. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
A gain of 15.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
11. 12. Hey, exit.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Luck now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Gordon. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From the 38, Luck. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Melvin Gordon there. And it's third down.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Throwing on third down, Luck. Got a man. It's Barrios complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. Back to the ground now with Gordon. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. From the 16. Safarian Jenkins has it. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They run it here with Gordon. And Gordon's going to be stopped short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Let's go, boy. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's a 2nd and 7. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Throwing his line. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And Luck will be intercepted for a third time. Quincy Wilson with the INT. He was looking for Watkins that time. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defensive coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working.
At the 36-yard line.
18 Gator.
54 Mike. Rip left, rip left.
Now back to throw. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they were able to get to him on it.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. On the return, it's White. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Lions will take over.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
On 1st and 10, Locke. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Back to throw. Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Sacked there by Avery Williamson, the linebacker.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Come on, QB, come on. Hey, Haywood.
3rd and long, it's Locke. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here comes the Lions punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now it's Lockett. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
Hey, foxtrot. Now.
They'll look to throw. He got it to Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Get it.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Ready? 30 base. Check, 154, 154.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
Go.
2nd and 11. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 35.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 1st down, Murray. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
60 outlaw.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Detroit. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's 2nd and 8. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. To the outside, that's complete to Williams. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
10 more yards. Complete to Williams.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. his man Johnson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Down. 10-2 stop.
54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
5. Lee Griffin.
Back to throw here. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Go next. 15. Get ready. Snap.
This is Carson. Stays on his. Now Carson fumbles the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The drive starts with a run by White. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 3rd down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Let's go. Wide. Get wide. Get it.
They'll go option to the short side. They run with a fullback Smith. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively, kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck flushed out right. And he'll complete this one to Berrios. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2 at the 16-yard line.
Yep. Hey, high 7.
2nd and 2. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. The Browns on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So a failure there to get rid of the football. I don't know in the end that it's going to matter much here with this game, but it yields another 2 points.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. It may not matter a ton with the deficit that's already there, but like my old coach used to say, it sure ain't going to help.
That doesn't help indeed.
Let's go, let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On 2nd down now, it's White trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They stay on the ground with White. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Returnable for Lockett. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Did they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Check 24, check 24.
Hey, Delta.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
Check it back, check it back.
Hey, Alpha.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Cameron Jordan. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Detroit, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, changes could be in the air as they fall to 0-8 now on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.